Good morning, everyone. Let's get started. I hope you are able to see my screen, guys.
Yes, Karthik.
Yes. Yeah, thanks. Yeah. So let's quickly recap what we have learned yesterday. So yesterday we started looking at the hash set internal. Can someone tell me what is the internal data structure for hash set?
Hash map.
Hash map. So what happens? Why the hash set does not allow duplicates?
We are following the hash map data structure. So in hash map data, toString and we have hash code and equals method we are implementing. So for that reason, it won't allow duplicates.
Yeah. So hash set, the internal data structure is hash map, but hash map requires two values. I mean, key object and then value object. But hash set, we are passing only one. So what happens is,
We are passing that object class object as a value here.
okay. So whatever we pass it to the set add method, that will be taken as a key, and the value for value is object of object class for every element. Correct.
Yes.
So why don't we have the get method in the hash set?
Because we are storing the same value like object of object.
Yeah. So generally the get method functionality is to use the get the data from a index or for the given key, etc. But here, even if you want to get the value, what is the value? It's same for all the elements. When it is same, and that too, it is a object of object class. So we don't need that, right? If I want to create, I just create a object of object class. I don't need it. So that's the reason we do not have a get method. Now, so the important question that will be asked is why the hash set does not allow duplicate? Because the internal data structure for hash set is hash map, and whatever we pass it to the hash set, that will be taken as a key. So since internally it is using a map does not allow duplicate keys. Hence, hash set also does not allow duplicates. Now, why the map does not allow duplicates, or how it will be identified the duplicates? Because internally it calls whatever the key that you pass, whatever the generics that you pass, it can be string, employee, department. It goes to the hash code and equals method. If it is not overridden, it will go to the object class equals and hash code method. If it is overridden, it will go to your corresponding equals and hash code method, and then it will try to identify whether it's a duplicate or not. So this is what we learned in the previous class. So does anyone has any questions? I see some of you have completed the home work. Thank you guys for that. Harish, I just wanted to say one thing. Here you have mentioned the toString method synchronized. toString method may not be synchronized. That is also fine. It's not necessary.
Okay.
Yeah. So any questions, anyone? Okay. So I hope no question. Now let us understand what is a iterator. Now let me create a class. I'm just creating a class called collection iteration. Okay. So what is the parent in the collection framework, guys? Iterable. Now let us see what is the interface. It's an interface, right? Or class?
Interface.
It's an interface. Let us see what are the abstract methods present in that. Do you have one method, one thing called as a iterator? Is it a method?
Yes.
Now, if I want to call this iterator method, how can I call?
By implementing this interface.
So, okay. If I take array list, in that array list, is it implemented?
Yes.
Because array list is a class. It is extending from Sorry, it is implementing list interface.
List it.
List is extending from
Collection.
Collection.
collection is extending from.
Iterable.
So is the array list class abstract class or normal class?
Array list is
Normal class.
normal class.
So that means if they see, so that means when the array list, see, array list parent is, let's write here, list. I'll be sharing this everyday notes also. And someone asked about the course content. I have shared it, guys, yesterday. Okay. Now let us take 627. Okay. Now array list extends from implements list. That means whatever the abstract method present in a list, all those should have been overridden in array list, correct?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
If one of the method is not overridden, what happens?
We need to make a array list as abstract.
Abstract class.
Yeah. But in the default array list class is not abstract. That means, can I say all the abstract method present in a list interface have been overridden in the array list? Yes. Now, similarly, list is extending from collection. So that means, for example, there is one method which is not present in a list interface, but it is present in a collection interface. Can I say that also should be overridden in the array list because it is also an interface?
Yes, we should
Now,
override.
yeah, similarly, if iterable is also an interface. Now, so in the iterable, what is the method do you have? Iterator method, correct?
Yes.
Let us check whether this method is present in the collection. Iterator, it has. So is it abstract method again here also?
Yes.
Okay. Now let us go for list. Yeah, it is also abstract method. Now, can I say that in the array list class, this method also should have been overridden? Correct?
Yes.
If not, what happens? My array list class will become abstract. Yeah. Can I say something they are writing? Can I say now it is overridden?
Yes.
Yes. Now what is this method? Instance method or static method?
Instance method.
Now how can I call this instance method?
Object.
Creating a class object.
So that means if I want to call the iterator, see, we are going to understand what is an iterator. How can I call an iterator? Correct. Now, in order to call this iterator, so see, iterator is used to iterate over the elements. There are fail fast iterator, fail safe iterator. That is just a concept. We'll come to that later. So whenever I am writing a for loop, what am I doing? I am iterating through the array, correct?
Okay, yes.
Yeah. Similarly, you can also iterate through the iterator. You know, it is just similar to the for loop, but since it is a method, I want to, if I call this method, then only I can do it, right? So how can I call this method? By creating an object. Now, see, in order to do that, let me create an object. Okay. L dot add 10. Okay. Now, if see now, can I say that my array list object is there and it has the data also?
Yes.
Now I want to call the iterator. How can I call? L dot iterator, correct? Yes. Now let's go and look at what is the return type of this iterator. It is returning something, correct? What is this something? Let's see what is this. It is returning iterator. What is a iterator? It is also a interface, correct? So there are some in this interface, there are some methods. Look at here, has next, and remove. These are the methods that it has, correct? Now let us look at. Now, whenever I'm writing a code like this, I'm calling a method. If you are writing a method like this, display, and this display method is returning int. Now what I have to do, guys? What I have to do?
We need to hold that in that return type.
Now, if I want to call this method, can I say display? And this display method is returning int. So I will take int data type, and then I will say int I equal to like this, correct? Why am I writing here int data type? Because display is returning a int. Am I right?
Yes.
Now, similarly, what is the iterator returning?
Iterator interface.
Iterator object, correct? This object reference it is giving. Now, can I say I have to keep the same thing now? Iterator ITR equal to. So, but iterator is taking a generics. We'll come to the generics later. Once we complete this iterator and concurrent modification exception, I'll tell you what is a generics. Okay. Now, so can I keep string here instead of integer? No, because what is the list data? List is accepting only integer. So your iterator also will give you only integer, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So now let us see. Now here, ITR is a iterator reference. Now iterator is a interface. Now in this interface, do you see some methods? Has next method, and then remove method or something. Okay. Now if you look at here, returns true if the iteration has more elements. So now here, how many elements are there in this array list?
6.
6. Now if I am using iterator, now here in this iterator, there is one method called has next, correct? If I am using a if condition, itr dot has next. Okay. So now what does this has next method will do? See, returns true if the iterator has more elements. In other words, return true if the next would be a return element rather than throwing an exception. So here, whenever we are starting a iterator, the first it will hold the first position because array list is ordered, insertion order. Now first it will hold 10. So do you have a next element? Yes. Then it will return true. Whenever it is returning true, now how do you get that element? By using the next method. Look at here. Returns next element in the iteration. So the has next method will return true if there is a next element. The next method will give you the element. Now what is the next element will give you? Let us take integer I equal to. See, in the array list, what I'm storing? Integer. So now let me write print sys out. Can someone tell me what is the problem in this code? Don't worry about this variable. Let me keep it as I1. So now if I print it, what is the output? Tell me. If I run the program, what is the output?
You'll get the data, the 10, 20, 30, 40, that will be the output.
Look at the program carefully. Do you get all?
I1.
Up to 50 we get, I think.
Okay. Guys, you are not looking at the code.
I think it will execute till 50. No. Sorry.
Go line by line, guys. This is called manual debug. Shall we do? Look at here. I'm calling the iterator. So what is happening? First, if condition. Iterator has next. Has next method will return true, correct? There is more than one element. Okay, done. It will go to and iterator dot next. It will return 10. Okay, and 10 will be printed. Done. Does the if condition executes again? What is the purpose of if condition, guys?
No.
It executes only once. Correct?
One time.
So that means in your brain, you have always while condition only, right? You're not even looking at the code properly. See, that's a human mistake. Wantedly, I wanted to explain that. Okay. Hope you understand. What will be the output? Only one element. You guys are talking about 10 to 50 or 10 to 60.
Yes.
The problem is, you know the concept, but you're not paying attention. Like in your brain, it is registered that here there is no if condition, it's a while condition, right? But look at the code and then answer. Because in multiple choice question, this is a mistake that we do. See, it is returning only 10. Now I am coming to that. So whenever you are using a iterator, you will use while block or for, but you do not use if. Now you hope and you understand the reason. Because what is a collection framework? Collection framework is used to group up multiple objects. If you are using a if condition, is it a loop? No, it's just a conditional statement. But here, what is the right one to use?
While you can use.
I should have used while loop or for loop also. Can I use a for loop also?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
So look at here. If I use a for loop, what is the initialization parameter? If I want, I can put it. If I don't want, if I do not have any initialization parameter, I'll just put semicolon. And what is the condition?
As next. Correct.
Etr dot has next. And then semicolon. Correct? Now can I write the same code? Yes. Yes or no? So I can write the for using the for loop like this. I can write. If it is a while loop, I can write like this. So when should I go for a for loop? You have an initialization parameter. You want to increment, then I can go for loop. But I want to do that manually inside this for loop, then I will go for a while. Okay. Now if I run this program, what it will print?
10 to 60.
60.
Yes. Okay. Now, so that means using a iterator, what are we doing? We see till hash next. What does the hash next method will return? It is true. So here, first it started the object. Now let us look at what it will hold internally. Debug as Java application. So that's the reason. What is the reason why are we using while loop whenever we are iterating? Because the iterator purpose is to iterate over the collection and then get the result. Correct? So if you are using if statement, if is a conditional statement, it executes only once, but you want to execute the statement until the array becomes empty or end of the array. So that's the reason we have to go for a loop statement. Okay. Now, if you look at here, L dot iterator. Now after this, if you look at the iterator, see, just look at this. There is one variable called expected mod count. Just keep this in brain. This we will come back to this in a bit of time. Okay. So now if you look at here, what is the original array list you have? What is the object name? L. Does it contain 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60? Yes. Now, what does the iterator ITR is containing? There is one variable called mod count. See, how many elements you have, guys, in the array list?
6.
And what is my mod count, expected mod count?
6.
6. That means, can I say it is equal to the number of elements?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, if you look at here, this $0 equal to array list means, is it the iterator is also having the same data? Yes or no?
Yes.
So that means whenever you are using the iterator, it is originally pointing it to your original collection only, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Now it is as simple as, let me create employee equal to new employee 1, 2, 3. Employee E1 equal to E. Now E dot set employee ID 456. Now sits out E dot get employee ID and E1 dot get employee ID. Now you guys tell me, look at the program carefully and tell me what is the output of these two lines. First, what am I doing? So from this line number 20, can I say memory will be allocated in the heap and then employee object will have emp ID as 1, 2, 3 and it is referenced by E. Okay, done. Now what am I doing? Employee E1 equal to E. So will it create a new object?
No, it won't create a new object.
Because I am not using a new keyword. That means E1 is a reference variable of an employee and it is pointing to which variable? E only, correct? So can I say the same memory is located? Correct? Yes or no? Now, what am I doing? E dot set employee ID equal to 456. That means in the E employee, I am changing the value to 456. Correct? Now let us run the program first. See, both modified or one is modified. See,
Both.
if I print before modifying, what is the value? Both objects will have 1, 2, 3. Now, after printing, after changing, both have modified. Why it is modified? Look at here. Now, whenever we are, see, line up, see, first 21 object is created, done. Whenever line number 21 is executing, can I say it will follow like this? E1 is also pointing it to the same location because I am not creating a new. And E dot set employed equal to 456. That means in this location, 1, 2, 3, I am changing it to 456, correct? Okay. If I modify here, can I say this change will be reflected in both the objects or not?
Yes.
Yes.
Because both the objects are pointing it to a same location, correct? Yes or no? Same thing. Now, if you look at here, now array list is having what is the data? 10 to 60. Now, after creating a iterator is also having the same data or not?
Yes.
Yeah. Just remember this point. That means iterator is not using a new collection or something. It is pointing it to your original collection only. Correct? Now, that means if I modify any change in the iterator, can I say it will reflect in the original collection?
Yes.
Yes. Now, that's where the concurrent modification exception comes into picture. Okay. Now, so instead of this E1, if I say new employee, what happens?
New object will be created for that.
Okay. Now, if I change it, what is the output, guys?
1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6.
So in line number 23, 1, 2, 3 will come. Line number 24, 4, 5, 6 will come because it's a different memory location. Now, it is as simple as that. In a house, 2 people are staying, like myself, Karthik, and my brother is staying in a house. Now, my father went ahead and then modified my home address. Like there is some mistake is there. He modified my home address. Can I say my address and my brother address also will change automatically because we are residing at one location, right? It is as simple as that. So if you are providing a reference, the same thing will happen. So in the iterator also, whether it is an array list or hash map or hash set, the iterator will point it to the original collection only. Now using this iterator, you can, so you have a hash next method. Using the hash next method, what it will do? It will return true if there is a next element. And this next method will return the element. Now, whatever I'm able to do with the for loop, can I say I am trying to do the same thing with a while iterator also?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, there is one more thing called list iterator. Okay. Now, there is one more thing called list iterator. So instead of see in the array list, see here I'm calling this iterator method using an object means it's a what method? Instance method. Now, similarly, let us do you guys see one method called list iterator? It is also a method. Okay. Now it is present in a list class. Look at here. What in which class this is present? Look at here. Class at the end, you can see the class name, right? It is present in a list interface. It is present in a list interface means in the array list class, it must have been overwritten, right? Now, what is the return type of this list iterator? This is a list iterator. Now let's change it to list iterator. Let me keep it as ITR1. Now let us see what is a list iterator. See, list iterator is also iterator and it is extending from iterator. That means it will have all the functionalities of iterator and it will have some more functionalities. Now let us see what is that. The hash next method we already know. Next we already know. See, it has one more method called hash previous. So that means if you are using a iterator, what you can do? You can go in one direction only, correct? See, if I'm using a iterator, first I will go to 10. Then 20, then 30, then 40, then 50. Whenever I'm at 50, I want to check what is the previous element. Can I do that using iterator?
No, we can't do that.
But whenever I'm at 50, I want to get the previous value. Can I do that with a list iterator?
Yes, we can do.
Yes. Now, for example, let us use hash next, hash next, hash next. Now, let me create one int I equal to 0. Now, I am doing I++. Now, if I is greater than 2, then what I will do? See, initially, if I call the previous method, it won't give you, it will give you exception because the iterator starts from this first element. Does the first element has any previous? No. So that's the reason I am going, I see I equal to 0. I plus plus means and I greater than 2. So I'm navigating 0, 1, 2, 3. Whenever this element comes, whenever I met this element, I want to get the previous element. How can I get it? Look at here. When I greater than 2, so instead of iterator, I will use iterator 1. Iterator 1. Now iterator 1 dot has previous. I'm asking, see, instead of has next, I'm checking whether it has a previous. If this is returning true, if this returns true, then what I will do? itr1 dot previous. To get the next element, we have a next method. To get the previous element, we have a previous method. Now let us take integer i2 equal to, I can print out i2. Okay. Now let us look at, if I want, I can do the break also, but I'm just trying. Whenever I equal to 2. That means whenever I equal to 2, I just wanted to go back and then check the previous value. So if it is a iterator, I cannot do. If it is a list iterator, I can do. That's the beauty. What happened? Debug as Java application. See, I is not equal to 2, I is printing. Now I value will become 1. Now I think 2. Yeah. Whenever it is 2, it is checking. Iterator has itr1 has previous. Yes. Currently iterator is at 10. Now what is the previous value? Previous value will get 20, right? Now and it is printing. So this is the beauty of a iterator. You can get the previous value also. If it is a normal iterator, you can traverse only in one direction. If it is a list iterator, you can traverse in both the directions. Iterator has only the next method and has next method, but list iterator has previous method and then the previous method. So these are the differences between iterator and list iterator. Any questions?
No.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Now let us understand what is a concurrent modification exception. Now let us let me write the definition first. What is a concurrent modification? Does anyone know what is a concurrent modification exception? Like any definition, anything, whatever you know the knowledge, let me know.
If one thread is trying to retrieve object, at that time another thread tries to modify the process any object, then we get concurrent modification exception.
That is synchronization, right? I have shown that in the array list also. Array list is not synchronized. One thread is trying to insert, another thread is also trying to insert. Both are happening at the same time, right? Correct. It is not a concurrent. It's a synchronization. Array list is not synchronized. Multiple threads can work on a same array list object multiple times, right? If you remember, whenever we are discussing, we have written this program, right? Let me show you quickly. If you look at here, where it's, yeah, thread 1, see in the test class, what I am doing, I created an array list. And, main class. In the main class, see, first I have created an array list. And I'm passing that array list object here. And then whenever I'm doing the thread dot add in the L dot add and thread to L dot add, both are working, correct? Because array list is not synchronized. Since it is not synchronized, multiple threads can try to access the methods at a time, but the output may be or may not be accurate. We do not know. But when it comes to a vector, is the vector method synchronized? Add method?
Yes.
So whenever it is synchronized means what does it mean?
Just for safety.
Yeah, that means multiple threads cannot work. Now let me show you guys. Okay. Now the same program, let us run. Now, let me comment this. Now here, debug as Java application. See, thread is an independent path of execution. You see, if you join from tomorrow, you can understand what is a thread, etc. I'm not explaining now. Look at here. See, I think so. We need to keep whenever we are running a thread, what happens? Run method will be called, correct? Let's keep a run method. Thread to run method, yes. Let's debug. Debug as Java application. See, T1 dot start means see, thread 1 is started, thread 2 is started. Can I say 2 threads are executing parallelly? Yes or no? Now, both the threads are, what did I pass to both the threads? Can I say that I have passed the same object only? L? Did I pass the different object or same object?
No object we passed.
Okay, I have passed the same object. Now let us look at here. Now using a thread 1, what I'm doing, I'm adding L dot add. That means where it will go? Can I say it will go to the array list add method? Now let us put a breakpoint in the array list add method. Can I say it will come here?
Yes, it will.
See, it is coming. Now if I go to the thread 2, so you are saying that other thread should not be able to add, right? Am I right? The one who answered it.
Yes.
Okay, I'm not pointing you. I'm just trying to explain. Okay. Now, if I come here, is it also coming to the same? See, look at here. T1 is executing line number 466. T2 is also executing line number 466. Correct?
Yes.
So
Yes.
that means both the threads are able to access the method and then it is working. Correct? But you do not know whether the output is proper or not. Correct? Yes or no? This is about a non-synchronization, right?
Yes, yes.
Array list is not
Mhm.
synchronized means this is a concept. Now, can I modify the code and then in the main class instead of array list, let me pass the vector. Let's see what happens. See, that means if concurrent modification exception does not talk about a synchronization, right? Now, let me remove this and then I'll add it later. See, let's create 2 threads. See, 2 threads are started. Okay. Now from one thread, let's go into the vector class, correct? And vector class has a add method. Now I'm placing see, there is a breakpoint. See, one thread started executing vector synchronized method. So whenever it is executing a synchronized block, it will acquire the lock. So the thread 1 has acquired the lock on object. Which object? Whatever I passed it from the main class. Now, can I say second thread is also working on the same object or not? Yes or no? Can I say from main method, can I say both the threads are working same object?
Yes, yes.
So
Yes.
thread 1, see, that means thread 1 has acquired the lock on this object. Can a thread 2 execute? Look at here.
Yes, it can execute.
It cannot, because
Both
when
are
there
locked.
is a lock, the second thread will go into a waiting mode. That is about that is what is synchronization, right? So that is the reason in multi-threading programming, what I asked question, which one you will prefer? Whenever I'm doing a multi-threading programming, do you prefer array list? Do you prefer a vector?
Vector.
So because multi-threading program means, can I say multiple threads can try to access same or different method on the same object. But what you need to happen? See, for example, if multiple people are you are withdrawing the money, some people are in sending the money in a phone pay, Google Pay, and you are getting salary. If all these things are happening at a time, though it is happening at a time, can I say one transaction has to wait for all other transaction has to complete? Am I right? So can I say that is nothing but a synchronization? So hope is it clear? Synchronization is different. What is a concurrent modification is different, correct?
Yes.
Clear, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Now let us see. Any other answers, guys? Anyone? Whatever you know, what is a concurrent modification exception? See, anything, see, you whatever you think, you can tell me.
You're making any modification in the data inside the object, at that time you'll get the concurrency exception.
Yeah. So the definition of a concurrent modification exception is while iterating over the collection and performing some structural changes. Concurrent modification exception is thrown. So just if you do perform changes, it will not. So I went while iterating over the collection and calling some methods. Those are, what are those methods? Next method, previous method, add method. Whenever you call these methods and then perform some structural changes, then only it will throw the concurrent modification exception. Let us look at. Let me create a class. Concurrent modification EX. Let me create a main method. Now, first I need to have the array list, right? Now let me create an array list. I will copy this. Okay. Okay. Done. Now what I have to do? Iterator. Correct? Iterator. What does the iterator will give you? Iterator object. Correct? Iterator reference. Iterator integer itr equal to done. Now what is the thing I told? While iterating over the collection. See here. While iterating over the collection. So in this statement, iterating over a collection means should I use a if block or a while statement or loop statement?
Loop statement.
Loop statement. See, while this is a English while. It does not mean that I have to use the same while in the Java code, right? Hope you got the difference, right? That means I have to go for a loop statement, correct? I will use a while loop. itr dot has next. Yeah, has next. Now what I'm doing has next itr dot. So can I say I'm iterating over the collection now? Okay. Now iterating over the collection and performing some structural changes. Let's leave about this. Let's leave about this part for now. Leave about this part for now. Let's say performing some structural modification. Let me do. Structural modification means adding and deleting, correct? If you are constructing a building, if you are modifying the structure means you are increasing, you are taking a like you're changing the basement or you're creating one more floor over there, that is called as a structural modification. So in the array list, initially how many elements are there? 6. Now let me add one more element. Okay. Or let me delete one more element. Can I say that is a structural modification? Now, if I run this program, what happens, guys?
We will get concurrent modification.
Okay, one answer that one. Just look at it carefully, guys. Just think about it. Do manual debug. What exception I will get? We don't get concurrent modification exception. What else? So look at here. See, when I say manual debug, what is that? You have to think similar to the compiler. First, whenever I say that has next, what does the has next will return? True.
True.
Correct. So whenever it is true, what are you adding?
30 you are adding.
So that means currently how many elements are there in your array? Let me write the array like this. Okay. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Now, so whenever it is true, what are you adding? You are adding 30, correct? So can I say it will add 30 here? So this is a new element. Let me take different color. Done. Now again, the while loop will repeat until the last element. Has next. Does the has next will return true again?
Yes.
Now what you will add again?
30 again.
Can I say again 30?
True.
Now again has next will return?
True.
True.
What does it will return? So 30 is there. So it will add again 30. Okay, again that means is it a can I say it is a never ending loop? See here, currently you are at this position 30. Now again, has next means 40. Again, it will add. Okay. See, at this point of time, you are here. Now next has next will return 50. I'm not taking the element, but what am I taking? Has next means there is a 50. So it will return true. Again, you are adding 30. That means continuously you are adding it, correct? So whenever you come again, there is a 30. Again, you will add it. So can I say it's a never ending loop?
Yes.
So whenever you are continuously growing like this, what exception you will get? Out of memory, right?
Yes.
Now let us run the program and see. See, it is executing continuously. Look at here. Launching concurrent modification exception. It is executing continuously. After some time, it will say that out of memory error, right? See, it is executing continuously. See? So it takes some time. After some time, it will say that it will throw the concurrent, it will throw out of memory error. It is not a concurrent modification exception. It will throw the out of memory error. Now, instead of this one, if I do the remove, I will get some index not found something error, correct? So if you are trying to remove every time, one by one element will be deleted. After that, if you try to see what does the remove method will do? Check. Internally, it will check whether the index is present or not, right? It will throw some other error, index not found exception. But if you try to add it, it will throw out of memory error. See, it is executing again. Generally, my Java program will not take this much time, correct? But it is executing continuously. Okay, let me stop it. Okay, now, so now let me do one little statement change. itr dot next. How can I get how can I get a next element using a next method, correct? Now let us take integer I equal to. Okay. Now if I run the program, what happens? The only change what I have done, previous statement and this statement, I have introduced this one. If you look at the definition now, if you come to the definition, while iterating over a collection, done. Is it true? Yes. Now calling some next add or any other method. Like, can I say that I am calling the next method inside the iteration? Yes. And performing some structural modification. So in line number 23, I'm performing some structural modification. Now let us run the program. I will get a concurrent modification exception. Okay, let me stop this. I think it is executing continuously. Let me debug or else. I think I have to close my Eclipse and restart because of the earlier one. It is not loading the JVM.
I think you can stop, right?
Yeah, it is stopped, but still it's
Oh.
loading. I have kept a breakpoint. Still, it is not coming. Look at here. Okay. Okay. So let me open the different Eclipse where I can show you that program. So the concurrent modification exception comes while iterating over the collection and doing some structural modification changes. The concurrent modification exception will come. And see, what is the logic behind the concurrent modification exception? See, that means whenever the user is performing some structural modification and then calling some next method, it is showing. That means there should be some logic, or there should be some. How does the Java know that you are doing a structural modification? Correct. So internally, it uses one variable called mod count. By the time the Eclipse loads, let me show you guys. So here, whenever we are doing, guys, whenever I am adding an element, if you remember, earlier also I told there is one variable called mod count. What it is? It is plus plus means what kind of a variable, guys? Is it a string variable? If I am doing plus
Integer.
plus means it should be an integer or long only, correct?
Yes.
Like some numeric value. So look at here. If you remember earlier, I have mentioned that this we will be discussing in the concurrent modification during the initial customer list. See, whenever you are after calling the iteration, whenever you call the iterator, just now you have seen the expected mod count. There is one variable called expected mod count. The variable value is 6. Why it is happening? Look at here. Whenever you call the add method, array list add method will be called. So initially, so here inside add method, they are incrementing the value by plus plus. That means 1. So first time, whenever I call here, what is the mod count variable after completion of this one? Can you say 1?
Yes.
Okay. So again you are calling second time you are calling the again this one. What is the mod count? It is 2, correct?
Yes.
Because every time you are doing a plus plus, correct? Done. Now here it will become 3. Here it will become 4. Here it will become 5. Here it will become 6. Okay. Now, so the mod count is becoming 6 now. So whenever you call the iterator, see, that means can I say I have created a array list. I have added the data. After that, I'm calling the iterator. Whenever you call the iterator first, what is the expected mod count it is has? There is one variable this iterator is in. What is that expected mod count? Is nothing but a original mod count. So currently expected mod count equal to 6, correct? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Now inside a iteration, what am I doing? I am adding again one more element. Can I say my mod count will increment to 7? Yes or no?
It will increment.
Because I am calling the same add method of array list, right? My mod count will become 7. Now let's go and look at this. What is the next method? So next is also a abstract method. So can I say this might have been overridden in the array list? Yes. See, and the array list, see next method, correct? Now in line number 967, what is this?
Method.
It's
Check
a method, correct? Check for co-modification. Let us go and see what is there inside this. Now, inside this, see, they are checking mod count not equal to expected mod count. Now here, what is my mod count?
7.
And what is my expected mod count?
6.
6.
If both are matching?
No.
No.
So if both are not matching, what are they throwing the error?
Concurrent modification exception.
Hope you understand the logic now. What is there inside the, like how does Java triggers the concurrent modification exception, right? It is based on the mod count variable. If the mod count is increasing, see, it doesn't matter. See, I told add. Instead of add, the structural modification means what? You can also do remove, correct? See, you have a 5 floors building. You are doing some structure modification. You can add, you can construct 2 more floors, or you can demolish 1 floor also. See, 5 floors, you have demolished 2 floors. What does it mean? Can you say you have modified the structure also? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So now earlier I have shown you adding. Now if I do the remove, can I say I have to go to the remove method of array list and see what is happening? See, in the remove method, they are calling element data fast remove. Inside the fast remove method also, can I say they are incrementing a mod count? Correct. So that means whether you perform an add or delete anything, can I say your mod count is going to be incremented always?
Yes.
Once it is said, that means whenever you perform while you are doing the iteration. For example, earlier I did not call this next method. See, can I say this whether it is checking for expected mod count is not equal to the mod count? Where is that logic is present? This check for co-modification, from where it is called?
From the
See, from previous method it is getting called. set method, add method, remove range. What is the method that we have seen? We have seen next method, correct? See, for time being, what is the method that we have seen? In the
Next
next
one.
method only they are writing this code, correct? So if I am not calling this next method, will I get a concurrent modification exception?
Not good.
No, correct. That is the reason earlier, what is the exception I got? I am out of memory error, correct? So that means if you want to get a concurrent modification exception, what you need to do? Apart from iterating over a collection and doing the structural modification changes, you need to call any of the method. What are those method? It can be next method or can I say wherever this method is getting called, in all those places you will get a concurrent modification exception if the mod count and expected mod count is not matching. Yes. Now let us see from where this method is getting called. See, it is calling previous method also. That means instead of next, can I also call previous?
Yes, we can.
Yes. That will I get an exception?
Yes, we will get exception.
Yes. If I don't call any of these methods, will I get a concurrent modification exception?
No, we won't get.
No, that is a beauty. Now in the interview, what they will ask you, what is the logic or how does Java will identify the concurrent modification exception? So that is what in the interview it will be asked. Okay. So what is the logic? Let me see if, yeah. Yeah. If you look at this class, let me resolve this compilation errors first. Yeah, done. Now, if you look at here, so okay, let me do the same code. So instead of copy and write array list, you do not know for time being, you do not know what is a copy and write array list. What I will do, I have a array list. Same code, whatever I have written in that Eclipse, since it is not working, because of that, I am writing here. See, list L3 equal new array list. How many elements I added? 1, 2, 3. I can call list iterator or iterator. Anything is fine. Okay. Now has next method. What I'm doing? Next method. And then can I say I am doing the structural modification now?
Yes.
Yes.
Now let us debug this code quickly. Debug as Java application. Is the code different, guys? There and here? It's the same. I just wanted to show you without the next what happens, with the next what happens, correct? See here. So here now, see itr1 dot has next. What it will return? Will it return true?
Yes.
Yes, because
Yes.
it has more elements, right?
More
Yeah.
elements.
So okay. So what does the next method say at this point of time? What is the mod count, guys? You tell me. 3, correct? Mod count is 3. Now, whenever you call the method, whenever you call the iterator or list iterator, whatever the mod count that is present, that will be, they will copy that variable into one more variable called expected mod count. Look at here. Can I say my expected mod count is same as my mod count? Because whenever I called it. Done. Now, here, what am I doing? L3 dot add. Now, L3 dot add means, can I say I will go to the array list add method? Look at here. Now it will come back, come here. See, it is coming. Now, what is the mod count is happening? 4, correct?
4.
Now, once let it complete. Yeah. So mod count is becoming, now what is the mod count, guys?
Now it will be 4.
4. Now, what is the expected mod count?
3.
See, that means expected mod count will not change because this is a mod count. It wanted to check before you do the structural modification, what is the mod count? That they are taking it as the expected mod count. And whenever inside the while loop, whenever you do structural modification, they are checking what is the mod count. Now mod count is 4. Now has next will return true? Yes, correct. Now again, I'll go to the next method. In the array list next method, let's see. I'm debugging the predefined Java code only, correct? See, look at here. I'm coming here. See, next method, I have come. So here it will go to the check for co-modification. What is the value, guys? Mod count 4. Expected mod count 3. Is it
3.
matching?
No.
So can I say I'm getting a concurrent modification exception now?
Yes.
Correct. So now if someone is asking you, what is the logic to trigger the concurrent modification exception? What is the answer? Internally, it uses
structural
called mod count. So what is the definition of a concurrent modification exception? While iterating over the collection and performing or calling next method or previous method and performing some structural modification exception, then the concurrent modification exception is thrown. Because you see why it will throw is, can I say whatever the original collection, it is using the same original collection only, correct? So, and how Java is identifying that? Using the variable called mod count and expected mod count. So in the interview, they will be expecting you that, see, what is the logic? What is the internal logic of a concurrent modification exception? Then you need to tell, whenever we are adding a element or removing a element, internally, Java uses one variable called mod count. It gets incremented. So whenever I create an array list, the mod count will be incremented. Whenever we call a iterator method or list iterator, whatever the mod count that is present, that will be taken as the expected mod count. And whenever we are doing some structural modification inside a while loop, the mod count will increment. And if in the same while loop, if I am calling the next method, there is a check. If the expected mod count and mod count is not equal, then the concurrent modification exception is thrown. Hope, does it understood, guys, now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, if I want to get away, that means now, can I say I will get the concurrent modification exception in the hash set also?
Yes.
Because hash set is also implementing set interface. Set is extending from collection. Collection is extending from iterator, right? Done. In the hash, so now let me ask you one question. Does the hash map also will get a concurrent modification exception? Now you might be thinking hash map is not extending from collection. So will it be getting or not, right?
Yes.
But there is a something called as a concurrent hash map, right? Concept.
Yes. Yes. Concurrent.
Yeah. If the concurrent hash map concept is there, means in the hash map also I'll get a
Concurrent
error,
exception.
concurrent
Yes.
modification exception. So now that means, how do I check? Can I say inside the hash map put method, are they using the some logic similar to the concurrent modification exception method or mod count method? If I'm using,
Yes.
if I'm knowing that, can I say that I can use it? Now let us see. Do I have a iterator method? See, I have a iterator, correct? Am I audible?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a iterator method. Okay. Now let us check. Now concurrent. Let's go back. Do I have a mod count variable?
We have.
Whenever I have a mod count variable, is there a possibility of getting a concurrent modification exception? See,
Yes.
mod count not equal to MC, throw concurrent modification exception, correct? So, though your hash map is not extending directly or indirectly from collection, but what they have done, how they have implemented the iterator method, they have written inside the hash map interface itself or map interface itself, they have written this iterator method and they have overridden it. But there is now how to call the iterator and all, that is a question. Because in the hash map, see in the array list, we have only one element. Whenever you are calling a hash next it will give you. But in the hash map, I have a key object and then value object. So that means I can iterate over the key, I can iterate over the values also, correct? That will be interesting. We'll come to that later. Okay. Now so since we know the concurrent modification exception is coming, now how can I resolve this? Yes or no? We have to resolve it out or not?
Yes, we have to resolve.
So now, instead of, see, there is a class called copy on write array list. See, what is this? Copy on write array list. Can I say it's a class? And it is implementing from list interface. That means whatever the list is having, same logic it will have. Now, copy and write array list is a class in Java, which avoids this concurrent modification exception. So that means it does not use a logic called mod count. So it will work. What it will do is, for iteration, it will use one collection. For adding a data, it will use another collection. Now let's debug the same code. Debug as Java application. Let me remove all these breakpoints. Yeah. See, copy on write array list. I am adding the data. See here. See L3. In L3, how many data is there? 3. Okay. Now, whenever I call the list iterator, look at here. Do you see anything called expected mod count?
No.
But do you see one see what this snapshot variable? Is it a variable first of all? If I am writing like this, what does it mean? Can I say object array snapshot equal to new object array of 3 I have created, and then I copied the data from original array to this array, correct? See, if you look at here, what is the data that this array is having? 10, 20, 30, which is same as original data. Now, whenever I am iterating, what I am doing, I am adding 40. So whenever I am adding 40, what is the object name I have used? L3. L3 means here. See, here 40 is added.
Yes.
But let us look at here. Is the modification happened here?
No.
That
No.
means, can I say these two are different objects, correct?
Yes.
So that means whenever you are adding, you are not touching the iteration. That means, can I say here, whenever you are using a copy and write array list or concurrent hash map or copy and write array set, what is happening? For iteration, there is a separate collection. For adding the data or removing the data, there is a separate collection, correct? Hence, we don't get a concurrent modification exception. Now let's debug. Second iteration only you will get it. Am I getting a concurrent modification exception? No. But am I getting see here, how many times this loop will repeat? 3 times only. Will I get a out of memory error also? No.
No.
Look at here. I'm getting, that means data is added to the copy on write array list, 40, 40. So 3 times 40 will be added. After that, it will come out. See, I did not get a out of memory error. I did not get a concurrent modification exception. Because in the copy on write array list or concurrent hash map or copy on write array set, the internal logic is to store the data, they will use one collection. To iterate over the data, they will use another collection. So this is called iterator design pattern. So in design pattern, there is a topic called iterator design pattern. So in this one, since they are using the iterator design pattern, we are not getting a concurrent modification exception. So I'll talk about hash set, I'll talk about hash map also, but hope you understand the logic.
Yes.
Any questions, anyone?
No.
So if no question, that's all for today, guys. And tomorrow we'll see hash map, concurrent modification exception, and hash set. And then we'll try hash, and then we'll get into the details of linked list. And it will be more interesting, guys. But I request you guys to keep practicing. Okay. And tomorrow, 8:30, I'm starting the multi-threading batch. I have already shared the poster in the group. I will share it today again. If you are interested, you can join. Okay. Yeah. Any questions, guys? So if
No.
any of your friends are also interested, please refer them. Okay. Thank you guys. Thanks for joining. Have a nice day.
Thank you.